With a time span of over 2,000 years, China has grown to be one of the oldest and most influential powers throughout the centuries. Up until recently, the mystery of China remained unsolved behind closed doors, but today, many have begun to shed light on this country's ancient history and rich culture. Centered at the heart of Beijing, the Forbidden City stands as one of the most intricate architectural designs in all of China. Built in the 1400s, it has been the home for numerous rulers over the past 600 years.
The Forbidden City was the residence of the emperor and his families. It is a symbol of power. It is a symbol of family, the imperial court, and also the imperial system. It's huge and it's beautiful. But also, again, you see that Forbidden City is completely closed. Not allow the commoner to enter.
In total, 999.5 room, right? So because 9 represents eternity, with the same pronunciation, say 9. 9 means forever. So the same pronunciation, 2 meanings. One is 9, one is eternity or forever.
Ever since the last emperor, Puxi, was deposed from the throne in 1911, the Forbidden City has been open to the public. Today, its grandeur reflects the dynastical power of China. Another Chinese treasure, the Great Wall has been around for over 2,000 years and stretches between 5,000 to 15,000 miles long.
The Great Wall we see today is it started from Qing Dynasty, almost Qin Dynasty, almost 2,000 years ago. Start from there, Qin Emperor built this project to protect Chinese people from the barbarians.
The existence of Great Wall kind of showing the Chinese mentality, because they want to enclose themselves inside. They want to protect themselves rather than expanding.
When I took my family, my husband is American, and when we first time walk on the Great Wall, to him, he feels this is amazing. It can be man-made, but to me, I was thinking about the history, how many people die, especially at that time, no transportation. Everything is by manpower. One piece of brick and one person's life. So that's how I look at the Great Wall.
For the Chinese people, we had this fixed feeling about the Great Wall. And we understand at the same time it's a magnificent project in the whole world, but at the same time it's just to sacrifice too much.
Best known for its collection of over 6,000 clay soldiers, the terracotta warriors are an impressive sight to behold, with no two soldiers being alike.
The Chinese name is soldier horse, funeral statues, being Ma Yong. So you can imagine that was created for Qin Shi Huang, to protect him after in his afterlife.
This is the Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of Qin, and it's also the first emperor that were able to unify, the China, the so-called China. That's why China gets his name in English, Qin. He assumed that these people really can protect him, after dying, can really accompany him, because it was lonely, it was dark, it would be fearful, it would be terrified.
In her book, Chronicle of the Chinese Emperors, Anne Paludin writes that these clay figures are more than just a defense mechanism in the afterlife. These statues represented a life-sized replica of the whole empire underground. Since the discovery of the first pit in 1974, hundreds of smaller pits have been found near this location. These large clay statues demonstrate a time when China was flourishing in both culture and power. Ever since the 21st century, China has become a fairly modernized nation.
Well, Western influence on China has always been play a big role in China. I think Olympic Games, or say year 2000 was like a threshold. China, from the official level, the government kind of like determined to open China's door to the outside. And they were very serious to present China as a very global image, very open-minded image. Like there were so many, especially in bigger cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and there were so many high buildings, high-speed trains, places that in the five-star hotels that people speak perfect English, all those things. They're trying so hard to build this physically.
Everything was always under construction. Like even in our neighborhoods, there were always new houses going up, or even whole neighborhoods being developed in a Western style architecture, kind of to serve to the people who were coming in for jobs and stuff.
Things were very communal, as in you would know that new little shop owner down the street, or that grocery shop owner just down a few blocks.
China is more like a collectivism, right? So built on the community.
A recent local tradition, many elderly will spend their mornings and afternoons participating in activities held at their park. As the economy has improved, older generations have been able to enjoy more leisure time than in the past.
General Chinese government is promoting harmonious society. So, as soon as my parents, they live happily, I can focus on my work, right?
China has long been an agriculturally based economy. However, this may no longer be the case according to modern world nations. China has become largely industrialized today, causing many to move to the cities. In anticipation for this sharp increase of urban population, development projects have been underway.
The reason I think every city, from the beginning to, is a development problem. Like in the future, more and more people, more and more high-tech, every city should be changed. Like 50 years ago, you come to Beijing, not too many people speak English. Now more and more people learn English. And 40 years ago, you come to Beijing, almost all bikes. Today, more cars. This is just a social problem, development.
A culmination of multiple folk customs, Chinese opera is a popular source for entertainment.
To train an opera performer usually takes at least 10 years of training to be good enough to go on the stage to perform.
A long-founded tradition amongst the common people, Chinese opera was initially introduced during the Qing dynasty in the mid-1700s. From there, the culture of opera grew, and soon large cities were creating a business out of them.
I joined the opera school when I was at the age 11, and I continue until age 28, so that's 17 years.
Tea House Opera is a family-oriented common folk show. Less prestigious than the Beijing Opera, but certainly nonetheless entertaining, Tea House Opera provides an environment much like a variety show.
Tea house is a little bit different because at tea house the performance tends to be more entertainment. In opera, different color resemble different level and a class. For example, royal family, they will wear yellow and red. Wedding, we will have it on red and white, blue, dark blue. It tends to be a little bit lower class.
Opera continues to entertain audiences nationwide, giving people a glimpse of Chinese history and culture. Despite the barriers still surrounding China, their culture and history has slowly been unraveling as it takes strides to change their economic, political, and social standing in the world. Amidst these changes, traditional Chinese customs and beliefs still remains a distinct characteristic of their everyday lives.